Hey guys, it's Nick. The stock market and bond prices are up recently because of the great news that investors now think we will be heading into a recession much sooner than expected. And so we can expect the Fed to stop those mean interest rate increases and go back to the market friendly interest rate cuts that the stock market loves so much. What about stopping inflation? Well, when you're driving off a cliff, you don't tap on the brakes, you stomp on the gas, right? So, is this the bottom or just a bear market bounce or a short covering rally? Well, to see where we are and where the bottom might be, let's take a look at data from other bear markets and recessions. And so, this article says, did the recession start 3 months ago? And just so you know, a recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, like we had here during the pandemic shutdown. And now in the first quarter of 2022, we have 1 negative quarter. And so if we get another one, that will be defined as being in a recession. And so the Bloomberg economics probability of US recessions within 24 months has jumped from 75% a few days ago now to 98.5%. Now, recessions usually come before bear markets. However, there are times when there are bear markets but no recession, or recession but no bear market. So you see, going back to 1929, there have been 4 times when we have been in recession, but there was no bear market. And then there are 3 times when we were in a bear market, but we had no technical recession. And if you look at the dates of bear market start and recession start date, you see that the recessions start before the bear markets do. And these are the number of days between the recession and the bear market. And so the average is 95 days. So what this means is the recession usually already started about 95 days before the official bear market, which is a 20% drop from the previous high in the S&P 500. And so what can you expect from the top to the bottom in terms of percentage losses during a bear market? Here is the total drawdown, and here is the average, which is a 40% drawdown. So how far was our drawdown? Well, actually, it was about 24%, and the median drawdown between all the bear markets is actually 24% as well. So you could be thinking, well, we hit the median drawdown, that's probably enough. We had a bounce, the bear market is probably over, right? Let's go back to just buying everything, right? So could this be just an average bear market that's already over? Let's take a look at this chart, S&P 500 performance during the first half of the year in total return terms. And this could possibly be the worst first half since 1932. Now, if we stayed at the lows that we hit recently, then this low could be the worst performance since all the way here, 1932. And even if we bounce a little and stay around this level or so, it will still be the worst since like 1970 or so. So to gauge how strong this bear market could be, you look at how many months it took to get into the actual bear market. And so this is the S&P 500 performance during 20% drawdowns since 1950. And so the dark blue line is the times when there was no recession in the next 12 months after dropping 20%, and that happened 4 times. Whereas the light blue line is the times when they had a recession in the next 12 months after dropping 20%, and that happened 7 times. So here we are in the orange line, and we have fallen about 24% at the maximum in about 5.5 months. Compare that to about the same drawdown, 24%, in times when there was a recession in the next 12 months. But this drop to minus 24% took 12 months, not just 5.5 months like we have now. So this is a lot stronger, a lot faster. Now, unlike the last few recessions and bear markets, we did not have the inflation problem and the need to raise interest rates. And so this tweet quoting Stanley Druckenmiller saying, once inflation goes above 5%, it has never come back down without the Fed funds rate exceeding the CPI. In other words, there is no soft landing. And so let's take a look at a chart of the US inflation rate in orange and the effective federal funds rate. So this is about 5% here. So you see, anytime that the inflation rate got above 5%, they had to increase the Fed funds rate above the inflation rate to stop that inflation. So they did it here, 1970, around 1973 or so, 1981, 82. So in case you don't know where we are here at Fed funds rate of 1.58 and inflation rate of 8.58. So even if the inflation rate were to come down to 6% or 5% or whatever, we are way under the curve, and the Fed needs to raise interest rates above the inflation rate if they want to stop inflation. Or they can hope for a really bad recession, which brings deflation and will bring down the inflation rate. And that's kind of what they're opting for, it seems. And so here we are on the S&P 500 looking at the SPY ETF, and this is a weekly chart. And you see we broke down, we had a little rally, we broke down again, now we have a little rally, and it's possible it could even rally up to like the 50-week exponential moving average. But let's take a look at the last two bear markets and see what kind of rallies they had all the way down. So here's 2008, the SPY broke below the 50 EMA, came down a lot, bounced a little, came down again, bounced all the way up to that line, and then dropped right below these very quickly in like, 6 weeks, bounced again a little bit, and then bye-bye all the way down to here. So if you think we're out of the woods already, we could just be somewhere at this level, still waiting for these big drops. And the same goes for 2000. The SPY broke below the 50 EMA, bounced up to that line, fell, bounced up to that line, fell big, bounced again up to that line, then fell even bigger and tried to bounce again, and then just went a lot lower. And this took about 2 years for this thing to finally bottom and turn around. So I hope this video helped you see where the historical data says that we might bottom so that you can make a plan of what to do when we get there. But remember, just because other market drops played out a certain way in the past does not mean it will play out this way in the future. Like they say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.